what's up everyone? It's kind of frustrated. I literally spent half an hour giving you guys a great video only to find that it didn't record. So this time, I'm sure it's working. And it kind of works in all of our favor because now I can condense what I was going to say. So, my last big video was a couple of months ago talking about the sudden change with Victor Pride and Bold and Determined. You know, if you're interested in that, if you follow me, you know what that's about. If not, you should check out that video because it's a great story. In a similar vein, we have the character Roosh V, who I've been following for, what, 6-7 years? Probably started when I was, just Googling something about, how to pick up chicks and stuff. And then this led me to Roosh V and the Roosh V forum, as many of you will know, alright? If you don't know who Roosh V is, then let me give you a quick overview. Roosh V is half Iranian, half something, I don't know. Grew up in the States and didn't do too well with women, okay? After he finished college, he started his blog, Roosh V, and started talking about pickup, alright? This is a pretty basic, standard pickup blog. And then, as time went on, it evolved into this journey of his to travel the world and sleep with beautiful women from different countries. And he was doing the digital nomad thing, right? He was selling books that he wrote about his travels and about his insights. And he was living off some of that income and financing his sexual escapades. However, about 1.5 to 2 years ago, he turned to God, took down all of the stuff that was associated with glorifying sexual promiscuity. He took down all the books he wrote about that, and now he still writes and does live streams, but it's mostly about God and Orthodox Christianity and whatnot, okay? So, I was reading one of his articles here. It was posted 6 days ago. The title is, Sexual Liberation is a Form of Political Control. And I do still enjoy reading some of his stuff because it is true. And as you can tell by the title, it's very straightforward. So if we go into the article, he talks about how the media, the music, even the public school system, everything is just constantly pushing this sexual agenda on people in the States, in Canada, and in many parts of the world, but especially here. And it's devastating people. It's causing people to turn into these pleasure-seeking zombies because we've been so indoctrinated to follow these passions which have been manipulated by an unseen group so that it permeates every aspect of our lives and drives both men and women to certain behaviors that benefit those people at the top of the pyramid, okay? But one thing that I wanted to address in this article that I feel I disagree with Roosh on, and I disagree with a lot of things that he writes, but one thing is about how he talks about how guys do the same thing that he did. Go abroad to meet women, okay? And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I wanted to point out the irony. See, even though in this culture we have sex and sexual images and innuendo thrown at us from all different angles and porn is readily available, a lot of young people especially aren't actually having sex, okay? Especially young guys. Maybe some of you out there can relate, alright? You're nodding your head, you're thinking, okay, yeah, I'm still a virgin, or I don't do very well with women, or I feel like I deserve better from women. There doesn't seem to be much around my area. It's kind of a desert out here. I feel you guys, okay? And this video is for all of you, okay? So, I come from the perspective of a guy who left the Western world and lived abroad for an extended period of time, a couple of years. And I lived in Asia, all right? I lived in China, I visited Thailand, I visited Malaysia, I visited Korea. I went to a lot of different places, okay? And what I can tell you is that it's a lot easier in those places, especially if you look like me, okay? But that's not all. It's so much easier to form social relationships in general. Healthy social relationships, okay, that aren't so transactional, aren't so based on what do you do? What can you offer me? Right? It's not quite like that in other places, okay? I just feel like I have to bring this to all of you because I can really speak on this. Many of you have never left Canada or the United States or even Australia or whatever, just an Anglophone or Western country. So you don't know if people are BSing you or not, okay? I'm here to give you the straight truth. I'm a young 25-year-old guy. I've lived abroad. I've dated girls from different countries, from different cultures. Girls who didn't even speak freaking English, okay? And it was great. And what's really funny is when I come back here and I talk to some of my buddies and I tell them, yeah, I had girls who would cook me breakfast, make me coffee. I had girls who would bring me presents. I had girls who just did all sorts of nice things for me. And they're kind of surprised. They're thinking, wow, I've never had a girl do that for me, right? And if they did, the girl was kind of ugly, or the girl wasn't someone that they were really into. They weren't really passionate about the relationship, right? Whereas with me, almost all the girls I dated were, let's just put it this way, they were girls that I was happy to show off in public, right? They were not just girls that I would take to my apartment once or twice or, indiscreetly in the middle of the night or something. No. I made sure that the girls I went out with were girls that I would be okay being seen with. You know what I mean? And I'm losing my train of thought a bit here, but because I already did this here. What I wanted to say is that these girls treated me so much better over there. And then when I come back here, it's kind of like a desert, man. It's nowhere near as easy to, first of all, get the attention of girls, maintain their attention, and then to add to that, it's not even pleasant. It feels like a job, kind of, right? It feels like it's demoralizing too, right? Because you feel like, oh wow, all these girls are ignoring me, or they flake on me. It makes me feel less worthy. It affects my self-esteem. Whereas when I was abroad, my self-esteem went through the roof, and I finally experienced relationships and I had girls who I thought, wow, a girl like this would never give me the time of day back home, right? And I kind of wrestled with this for a long time. I thought to myself, oh, is it just because I'm from Canada, or because I'm, a European, or is it because they want to learn English with me or something? And in some cases, these things are true. In some cases, I'm not going to say that women abroad are all angels, because they're not. Okay? Fundamentally, people are the same everywhere, and they want to gain some kind of benefit from being with you. It's just that I found that a lot of these girls were so much more down to earth. That's probably the term that best describes what I'm trying to get at here. They were so much more down to earth and so much more genuine, and there wasn't a layer of lies and deceit and crap, and it didn't feel like at the drop of a pin, if you did something or said something wrong, the girl would turn around and leave you, or threaten to leave you, or anything like that. And if she did, I knew she was BSing. But not like it kind of is here, where girls are, you can blame the hypergamy, you can blame the media, you can say that it's because of dating apps and this and that, but the fact remains that, at least in my view, it seems like, despite all the inundation of sex and sexual images and innuendo, a lot of guys are not having fulfilling romantic relationships. To the point where a lot of guys just call it normal. And they just say, oh yeah, you have to be a top 1% guy to get the best girls and stuff. That's not true. Because once you go abroad, you find that, again, you can go out with girls who are so good looking and so pleasant and so nice and so willing to, contribute. Women who innately understand that if they offer their best, their femininity, and they couple it with your masculinity, that you create a much more powerful force together that can take both of you further, rather than over here where I feel, again, like both men and women are confused, and both men and women are really just trying to extract and take from each other, and it just leaves a whole generation of young people in general, who grow disenfranchised, right? That's why I'm making this video, because I feel like I want to lend a voice to a growing number of men who feel like there's no one out there who can really distill these ideas and talk about them in a way that can be taken seriously, right? You have Roosh, you have Jordan B. Peterson, I don't like that guy. You have all these different characters, these talking heads, these people offering their opinions and their insights, yeah, but I don't feel like there are too many guys talking about this specifically, right? This issue where we're being told that, oh yeah, it's so easy to get laid and have sex and swipe right on Tinder and all this stuff, but in reality, a lot of guys, they're just not doing very well out there at all. So either some of them have given up completely, some of them are just slobs, they don't take care of themselves, they don't want to put in effort, and some, like myself, kind of decide to opt out because we can't find anyone who's, on our level. We look around and we're just like, no, none of these women measure up. I'm not saying she has to be perfect, but there are standards. If she can't fulfill these standards, then there's no point. And again, I'm not saying, like, maybe you've seen that movie, that video with Steve Harvey, or what is it, Steve Harvey? Like, they're on this game show, and this chick has this massive laundry list of all these qualifications she has for a man. I'm not talking about something like that. I'm talking about basic stuff that your grandfather could expect, could take for granted from his woman, right? That she would be pleasant, first of all, and wouldn't be a nagging cunt. Secondly, that she would be completely okay with making him a cup of coffee, making him breakfast, right? Turning his house into a home, that kind of thing, right? Giving him a massage. Imagine asking a girl from the United States to make you a cup of coffee. You know how ballistic some chicks would go? So, as soon as you ask something like that, oh, what do you think I am, your slave? You're trying to, those are absolutely the women that you need to avoid. But when you do, then what's left, right? I'm not saying that there aren't good girls out there, but I am saying that it's probably not worth it, because it's going to take a long time. It can take a long time to find those girls. Plus, as I said earlier, things are very transactional. Those girls aren't just going to go out with anyone. They want some dude who has resources to offer, right? Who has, and I'm not just saying, oh, women only like money. But if you have a jacuzzi, if you have a pool, if you have, a decent vehicle, if you have a home, if you have certain things which are can be a lot harder to get over here than they are in other countries, then only then will those girls even entertain the idea of going out with you. And all the while, she's still got, a number of other dudes who are hitting her up on the dating apps and everything. And if you do or say something that she doesn't agree with, she doesn't like, she just drop you and say, no, I'm going to someone else, right? Again, these are the kinds of girls you want to avoid. But the final takeaway from this video is that I'm not saying you have to get a plane ticket and go abroad, but you should definitely consider it. Because what has been seen cannot be unseen. Once you leave, and it is really like leaving the Matrix, once you get out of here and you get into a relationship, or at least date a nice girl from a different country, then you'll see firsthand what I'm talking about. You'll never want to get to even deal with the hassle of going out with a girl from this part of the world ever again. But hey, don't take my word for it, just try it for yourselves. And if you've got any value from this video, I would ask that you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like the video. I don't really like to ask to do that, but if it helps spread the word, because I'm not trying to sell anything here, if it helps to spread the word and help on other guys who are in this position, and you've been nodding your head, you're thinking, yeah, this guy knows what's going on, thank you, finally, someone who's not even all the way up here like Jordan B. Peterson or whatever, someone who's just another guy can finally lend a voice to this issue, then absolutely, please just share it, help other guys out there, okay? So I love you all. Have a great day no matter where you are. I'm out.